Parashat Hashavua, Parashat Hashavua, Tazria-Metzora, Parashat Hashavua, Parashat Hashavua, Tazria-Metzora. So this week we read two Parashiyot. The first one is Tazria. We're going to learn that now. Torah we're going to learn tomorrow. Many years ago, if a Jewish person would speak Lashon Hara about another Jewish person, Hashem would give him tzara'at all over his body as a sign that he had dirtied himself by doing an avera. Tzara'at was ugly white blisters which covered the entire body. Tzara'at was not like any other disease that could be treated with medicine. Hashem said tzara'at to a person to teach him a lesson. When a person got tzara'at, as he would not go to the doctor, he would go to the Kohen, who would tell him how to do teshuvah. As soon as the person would do a complete, sincere teshuvah, the tzara'at would disappear. In our times, we have become very far from Hashem. Sadly, we do so many mistakes in Averot that we hardly feel them anymore. We no longer get tzara'at as a sign to do teshuvah, but people who speak Lashon Hara get pushed away from Hashem even further. Hashem does not listen to tefillot coming out of a mouth that speaks Lashon Hara. A story of Shmirav Taloshot. Who tore up the class attendance sheet? The Rebbe asked in a harsh voice. Complete silence reigned in the classroom. None of the boys would admit that he was the one to have committed the crime. I repeat my question, said the Rebbe, this time in a louder voice. Whoever tore the attendance sheet should stand up now. Several boys shifted uncomfortably in their seats, but no one got up. Finally, one boy raised his hand. He began to speak even before the Rebbe gave him permission. Rebbe, he called out, I saw the boys who did it during recess. It was... Stop, said the Rebbe, cutting him off mid-sentence. I don't want you to tell me who the boys are, Eliezer. I want the boys who did it to admit it on their own. I want you, Eliezer, to love your friends and not say anything bad about them. The Rebbe then turned to the rest of the boys. You know, boys, it is a big avera to speak about other people. Hashem gets very upset when one of his children speaks badly about another one of his children. Sit back now and listen carefully. The story I'm about to tell you took place in the time of the Beit HaMikdash. The boys settled comfortably in their seats and they leaned forward. There was nothing they loved more than hearing a story from their beloved Rebbe. Many years ago, when the Beit HaMikdash was still standing, there lived a good Jew who learned Torah and kept all the mitzvot. There was one problem, though. He did not know how to guard his tongue. He did not realize what a grave sin it was to speak about others. One morning, the man was on his way home from davening shacharit, clutching his talit under his arm. Suddenly, he spotted his neighbor walking into a non-kosher food shop. The man was shocked. Aha, thought the man. The man must be a real two-face. He acts so frum when people see him, while secretly he eats food that is not kosher. Who would have believed such a thing? I guess he only keeps the Torah when people see him. The man was still thinking these thoughts when he met his friend. He quickly pulled him over to the side and he said, You won't believe what I just saw. You see that non-kosher food shop across the street? Just a few minutes ago, I saw my neighbor go inside. Oy, his friend exclaimed, placing his hands on his ears. Why are you speaking Lashon Hara about your neighbor? But it's true, said the man. That doesn't make it permissible, said his friend. Even true things are called Lashon Hara. And besides, you have to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he just went in to talk to someone. Or maybe someone in his family is ill, and the Rav gave him permission to eat non-kosher food in order to feel better. You might be speaking Lashon Hara about him for no good reason. The next morning, the man woke up early in order to have time to learn Torah before davening, only to find big, white, ugly spots all over his body. Filled with worry, he ran quickly to the Kohen and showed him the spots. The Kohen examined it and he said, The spots are tzara'at. You must have spoken Lashon Hara. You must go now outside the city for 7 days. Make sure that no one comes close to you. You may not speak to anybody. You should spend your time doing teshuvah. In another week, I will come see how you are doing." The man felt very ashamed. He chided himself all the way as he left the city. "Why did I listen to my Yetzer Hara?" he thought with regret. "Why did I speak badly about my neighbor?" The man was very embarrassed when people looked at him and he passed them in the street. They all realized that the man must have spoken Lashon Hara. It was very humiliating for him. When the man was finally out of the city, he sat down on the ground. As the Kohen instructed him, each time someone would pass by, he would call out, "Don't come close to me. I'm Tameh. I'm impure. You are not allowed to get close to me." The man was in very bad spirits all week. "Hashem," he cried again and again, "I promise that from now on, I will be careful with each word that comes out of my mouth." After 7 days, the man felt cleansed from inside. He hoped Hashem forgave him. The Kohen came back to check if he could come back to the city. He brought along with him 2 birds, a piece of cedar wood, a scarlet-colored string, hyssop leaves, and water from a fresh spring. "Why did you bring these birds?" the man asked. "Birds chirp and make noise all day," replied the Kohen, "just like a person who speaks Lashon Hara without thinking." The Kohen took a new jug made of clay and spilled water inside it. "Just like this, water can clean dirt," he said. "So too, you can clean your neshama and do teshuvah for speaking Lashon Hara." The Kohen then took one of the birds and slaughtered it over the water in the jug. He waited until all the blood had dripped from the bird into the water. Then he buried the bird in a small hole in the ground. He took the cedar wood, the string, the leaves, and he tied them together into a bundle. He called out, "When you spoke Lashon Hara, you believed that you were better than everyone else, just like a cedar tree which is taller than all other trees. You look down at another Jew. Take these leaves and the string. This will teach you to be humble, like a lowly hyssop plant and like the worm whose blood was used to color the string scarlet." The Kohen took the bundle and the bird that was still alive, and he dipped them into the bloody water. Then he sprinkled the water on the back of the man's hand 7 times. When he was done, the Kohen turned towards the desert and sent the live bird away. If the bird will return to us, we will know that your teshuvah has not been accepted," he said. The man waited to see what would happen and was happy when the bird did not return. The Kohen shaved off all of the man's hair. The man then had to wash all of his clothes and immerse in a mikveh of running water and then wait another 7 days. A week later, the Kohen shaved the man's hair again, and the man washed his clothes, and once again he immersed into the mikveh. Finally, the Kohen announced, "You are pure." The man was allowed to return home. The next day, the man would go to the Beit HaMikdash and bring korbanot to Hashem. Hashem would accept his teshuvah and forgive him. The Rebbe paused as the children absorbed all of this information. Then he said, "I'm sure you all realize now how bad Lashon Hara could be. Those who are careful not to say anything about a fellow Jew will be protected from Hashem."